We need to differentiate between inverse relation and inverse function. So we can find the inverse relation just as we found in the previous video, but whether the inverse relation is a function is another thing. So basically we can do one thing when we have the function in as a graph. We can do a test graphically to see whether the function has an inverse function or whether it just has an inverse relation which is not a function. We will get a relation, but it's not a function. And when we say whether it's a function or not, that means that for unique x value it will have to have a unique y value. So if we have different values for x and y, then it is not for x. We have basically we need to have unique y values for unique x values. That's the thing for a relation to be called a function. So the horizontal line test we can do to see whether a function has an inverse function. So it is something like this. This is a function. Whether this one has an inverse function, we can check by doing a test called horizontal line test. That means we draw a horizontal line anywhere and it should cut the function only once. If it cuts the graph, it should cut the graph only once. If it cuts the graph more than once, then the inverse relation is not a function. So for, let's say for this one, a parabola, if we draw a horizontal line here, it is cutting the graph twice. So the inverse relation is not a function. For this one it doesn't have an inverse function, well, while this one has. Similarly we can do few more. This is you can do another horizontal line test for this one. Wherever we draw the horizontal line, doesn't matter, it cuts the graph only once, so it will have an inverse function. Similarly this one here, maybe not, but here it is cutting the graph more than once, and since that's happening, this one does not have an inverse function. It's just has an inverse relation. Similarly this one, no, it does have inverse function, and this one twice here, so it does not have an inverse function. Just reminding whether a relation is a function or not, that can be done by vertical line test. I think I have done a video on this long ago. So vertical line test is just we draw a vertical line. So if we have this thing, this is not a function, this is just a relation, it is not a function, and that is because vertical line is exactly like horizontal line test. So we draw a vertical line, and if it cuts the graph more than once, then this is not a function, it is just a relation. So that's the thing. Now if we look at a parabola, x square is equal to 4ay or whatever, so then we have this one. So it does satisfy the vertical line test, so it's a function. So y is equal to x square 4a. For every x there is a unique value of y, so this one is a function.